We are proud to announce that we are now live and able to facilitate cross-border transfers for corporate clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, without being limited by traditional local cutoff times and pre-funding requirements.
Here's the opportunity of a lifetime, and you think it's right to stop them. You know, the day you're worth $999,000, you're not allowed to invest in certain things. And the day you go over, suddenly you're now smarter and experienced. It's ridiculous. So it has to stop.
It's really early in the morning. My time zones are all screwed up. We're meeting the CEO of a payments company. And, but the employee from Team Ripple says, well, why don't you give an update on what's going on at Ripple? And I start talking about the SEC. And after the meeting, he very delicately says to me, no one gives a shit.
And as the utility starts to kick in, you're going to see those pools of liquidity get very large. And so the circulating supply has been impacted. And as that is impacted, so it raises the demand. It's a genius solution.
Banking and financial services are in the middle of a transformation. ISO 222 is top of mind. They have to have that in. Payments are changing, assets are changing to digital assets.
This is one of the biggest revolutions, paradigm shifts. Those kind of things don't happen overnight. A revolution that involves both the technology and the cryptocurrency, the digital currency, that, as Chris Larsen, the founder of Ripple, says, the internet took a decade basically to have transfer of information, transfer of knowledge. You're talking about transfer of value.
It's different, but it's very pretty out here. I believe they're setting up the flag now.
If you got a bag, welcome to the party. Welcome back to some more Moon O'Clock news. No breakfast, no coffee, just straight extra foolishness. Shout out to the latest sub. Appreciate you stopping by. Go ahead, throw on those pilot shades and buckle up, because the future is extra foolish. Let's go full speed, full throttle into the cryptoverse. We got the total global cryptocurrency market cap today, $957 billion. Down about almost 1% in the past 24 hours. We got XRP right around 48 and a half cents, down about 1.4 in the past 24. We got BTC right around 19K, ETH right around 1300. And we got Stellar XLM in the number 27 spot, about 11 cents, down 0.1 in the past 24. John Deaton says, in case you were wondering why the CEO of Ripple used quotes, allow me to explain. A federal judge sitting in SDNY stated that the SEC lawyers like the SEC Enforcer Director and its non-lawyer chairman, Gensler, lack a faithful allegiance to the law. Big Brad says, my outrage has grown as the litigation has unfolded. There is no recourse. There is no consequence to those that brought this lawsuit. The SEC pursuit of a policy objective isn't about a faithful allegiance to the law. It's about power. It's about control. There is no regard for those companies and people that his approach has harmed. We all should be outraged. The SEC has clearly forgotten that the government works for the people. Most people outside the United States don't really care that the SEC is suing us. Brad Garland House at DC FinTech 2022. No one gives a ish.
Most people outside the United States don't really care that the SEC is suing us. I'll tell you a very quick, funny story. I'll keep it short. I was in the Middle East last fall, and we were meeting with customers. I have one of the Ripple team members who's based there. It's really early in the morning. My time zones are all screwed up. We're meeting the CEO of a payments company. And, but the employee from Team Ripple says, well, why don't you give an update on what's going on at Ripple? And I start talking about the SEC. And after the meeting, he very delicately says to me, no one gives a shit. And his point was, if you're not in the United States, the governments in Abu Dhabi, governments in Switzerland, Singapore, UK, Japan, they provided the clarity how they view and categorize digital assets, and they don't care that the United States SEC has a viewpoint that is, pending in court.
While the USA lags behind the rest of the world in the 1% diamond hands, plugging in to that Ripple net. Are you plugged in? XRP, why I no longer recommend real estate. As stated, Marxists took over the US in 2020 election and will raise property taxes, impose rent controls as rising interest rates decrease property values. I recommend gold, silver, and XRP. US Congress candidate XRP Army, I'm here to fight for you against corruption. I need you to get loud around GOP and the Democrats excluding us from the second debates after we qualified. John Deaton on January 1st, 2021, 9 days after the SEC versus Ripple, I said it appeared the lawsuit may have been used as a weapon because it made no legal or logical sense. Listen to her say it was difficult building the technology the last couple years for cross-border payments without pre-funded accounts.
We have spent the past year working on blockchain-based core banking systems to make global payments more seamless, efficient, and programmable. While building the technology was certainly difficult, the hardest part was working through the various internal and external approvals required for legal and regulatory treatment of the blockchain-based deposit system. We are proud to announce that we are now live and able to facilitate cross-border transfers for corporate clients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, without being limited by traditional local cutoff times and pre-funding requirements. Additionally, we are continuing the US dollar multi-currency payments clearing system work that we announced with the Monetary Authority of Singapore as part of the Project Ubin Phase 5 last year, building a multi-bank shared ledger to enable cross-border and multi-currency payment settlements that are real-time and atomic for the ASEAN region.
Gary Gensler, Gary says if you haven't already taken the SEC Investor Ed Investing Quiz, be sure to do so now. Investing Quiz from Gary G. And John Dean says, why would anyone rely on what the SEC says when the OIEA of the SEC tells people that the SEC hasn't made a determination whether XRP is a security and may never less than 60 days before it brings a suit saying all XRP for the last years have been illegal securities? Daddy G, are you there, Gary? Does the U.S. government oppress its citizens? I think that's reasonably clear.
Here's the opportunity of a lifetime, and you think it's right to stop them. So I think people need to change the rules. I spoke to the chief fintech officer of Singapore on Real Vision recently, and I said, how's Singapore doing it? And he said, well, what we've done is just said, we'll give you risk warnings. So we tell you that it's a risky thing, that it's an early stage investment, and that it could go to zero, but feel free to invest. And that seems much more sensible way of going about it than saying, well, if you're not worth $1 million, the day you're worth $999,000, you're not allowed to invest in certain things. And the day you go over, suddenly you're now smarter and experienced. It's ridiculous. So it has to stop.
Here's XRP. Shout out Crypto Eddie and the guys on 3T Warriors Academy. XRP.
And as we were talking about briefly before we went live, there are three things that impact price. One is supply and demand. That's the utility. All right. The second one is speculation. And right now we're in a very speculative market. And the third one is the whales, because the whales still do have in this space the ability to move price. Eventually, as the total market cap grows within all these crypto projects, it's going to get harder and harder for those whales to do what they're doing today. As the utility starts to kick in, you're going to see those pools of liquidity get very large. And so the circulating supply has been impacted. And as that is impacted, so it raises the demand. That is when the market makers and the exchanges who are in this place, who are providing the liquidity, that is when the price will move. And so it's a genius solution.
We say when, bank to the XRP Ledger wallet in under a minute. Mission accomplished. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll be catching up on some ZZZs. Is the Ripple technology consumer facing or not? What's XRP's final use case for retail? If everyone knew what XRP's final destination value would be, banks would lose money from everyone converting USD to XRP. That's a threat to USD. They don't want that. Ripple received New York's first BIT license for institutional use cases of digital assets way back on June 2016 for institutional investors and financial institutions in New York. Institutional uses of digital assets, institutional use of XRP. The first to receive the BIT license for a virtual currency. Virtual currency. Gary.
Are you there?
We got the XRP total market cap 695x after breakout here. Possible wick before a parabolic move. Will we break or will we reject? XRP, the best opportunity right now in crypto for 10x, 100x, 1000x gains. Also taking a look at XRP versus BTC. Something has to give here. XRP setting up for that next SEC face melting pump. Bags packed. XRP Ledger goes cross-chain with this release. Now XRPL-based assets can be transferred to various leading programmatic blockchains, Ethereum, BNB Chain, Zinfin, XDC Network, and OneChain through the purpose-made one-time addresses. The first assets supported are GZX, BibliX, XLIST, and NVL. While BibliX, XLIST, and NVL can only be transferred to Zinfin, XDC Network, and OneChain, GZX token is now available on all 5 networks simultaneously. We got XRP Crow iRemittance, the largest remittance service provider in the Philippines, will expand its use of Ripple's on-demand liquidity, HODL to HODL, using XRP to improve cross-border treasury flows because XRP is faster, cheaper, more efficient. As one of the earliest adopters of Ripple's HODL solution, we've been able to scale and accelerate our extensive payout capabilities in the Philippines. We're excited to further utilize HODL for treasury management and provide the best possible services for our customers. And while the USA lags behind, the rest of the world doesn't care about Gary and the SEC. They're plugging in to that on-demand liquidity. It's happening.
Yeah, make it as big as the circle. So go up.
BTC supply is 21 million, 19K. Quant supply is 14 million. Price is at 185. BTC has no utility. It doesn't work. Watch the quant video below. Does my 10-year-old need to draw you a picture?
What's the big challenge that you like of all of the industry challenges that you've heard about this week? What for you? What's the one that you take away as the biggest, most important thing that this industry needs to tackle?
Yeah, I think banking and financial services are in the middle of a transformation. ISO 222 is top of mind. They have to have that in. Payments are changing, assets are changing to digital assets. And the second thing that's front of mind is blockchain. And we keep hearing it over and over again from vendors, from the banks itself, from central banks saying, we want blockchain, we need digital assets, we need CBDCs, and we can help. Yeah. And I think what we've kept hearing is the biggest challenge is interoperability. And I've said it time and time again, we want to implement it, but we need it to be interoperable. We don't know how to do it. We need the industry to solve it. And that's where we've come in. I mean, we've solved that problem since 2018.
Michael Branch, a new standard for creating complex NFT applications on the XRP ledger, may appear as early as the beginning of November. NFTs right around the corner. Also, we got the Flare airdrop right around the corner. I seen this new project pop up on Twitter called Soundspace, the world's #1 platform to empower music creators. Everything in one place, grow your music career in one space. Join the Soundspace community to sell beats, purchase sample packs and plugins, collaborate and network. Every musician from around the globe is welcome to join. Software, sample packs, beats, social timeline. Check out Soundspace. Also, Soundspace is doing an airdrop. It's that time. Set up your trust line for Sound Token now. The airdrop dates will be announced soon. We will also reveal our white paper and Telegram chat too. Soundspace airdrop. And with that being said, former board of director Ripple, Zoe Cruz, 3 years ago, got a call from a headhunter to see if I wanted to join the board of Ripple. And it's a revolution that involves both technology and cryptocurrency. As Chris Larson says, the internet took a decade. First, we had the internet of information. Now, welcome to the internet of value.
None of it is overblown. It is more exciting than it was 3 years ago when I got a call from a headhunter to see if I wanted to join the board of Ripple. And only 3 years ago, I said, I have zero interest in that world. I don't understand it. And it's as Jamie Dimon said, who's my contemporary. I went to business school with him, actually. I kind of agreed with what he said 3 years ago. So 3 years later, I think it was Sarah that said, this is one of the biggest revolutions, paradigm shifts. Those kind of things don't happen overnight. So it's a false choice to say it's either the current exchanges that process in nanoseconds millions of trades or this thing. To me, the right way to look at it, it is, if you accept the fact, it is a revolution that involves both the technology and the cryptocurrency, the digital currency, that, as Chris Larson, the founder of Ripple, says, the internet took a decade, basically, to have transfer of information, transfer of knowledge. You're talking about transfer of value. So it's huge. It will have a lot of bumps on the road. but it is unequivocal. It will change a lot of things.
XRP, the transformational technology. The internet took 10 years. How long will XRP take to crawl, walk? Then we rock it. Where will you be when those bags take flight and that XRP liquidity starts to flow in? We'll catch you up here at the tippy top. I am the XRP Bagman, the Moon Commander, currently up here on the mothership, stuffing some bags and enjoying the show. Appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, smashing those likes for some more Moon O'Clock News. Hope y'all continue to stay extra bullish out there. Continue holding those good vibes. Remember to sell the FUD,
XRP.
buy up that bag, and don't forget to spread that liquid love. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to drop a subscribe, drop a comment down below. All the OG diamond hands out there, drop a comment down below, drop an elbow on that like button, and we'll catch you up here top floor on the mothership for the moon party. BYOB, bring your own bag. Peace out.
Crypto be our passion, cause what you focus on, you attract like a magnet. Got diamond hands, we hodl till we blasting. It's universal law, so we know it's gonna happen. So with that being said, we getting bags laughing. Laws of attraction, plus with that work in action, you can make it happen. The SEC corrupted, they don't want you with that baggage. They savage, but the army holding strong and we packing big bags, keep stacking. James Drew and Bagman on that rocket ship.